Ain't gonna lie, we finna get out of it, but that was smooth, honestly. I wanted to
I've
see
seen
type
so
of
many
stuff.
black women that say they want thugs, they want the gangster type, they feel protected. I've seen men give them STDs and they're still banging on his door like, I love you. I'm like, who's really the fool here, you know?
But are
So,
thugs the only ones that are giving out STDs? Is that what we're saying? And I do,
Majority.
no,
I
no,
have to majority.
Majority.
Oh, you're talking to a public health background right now. Let
My
me,
bad,
let
my
me,
bad.
let me tell you.
She came with the facts, nigga. She came with the
I
facts.
prefer to date outside my race.
On
Step
some
forward
junk,
if you
let's
agree with the
see.
prompt.
Oh, I was finna pause and say, let's see who do it. Yeah, I could imagine them two out of the four.
Realistically,
Oh,
I would
they are just
definitely
them
want
two.
to marry a black man. I know that we have experienced a lot of trauma in our community, and I think that trauma stems back from our colonizers, which have put us against each other, and it makes it difficult for us to come together and be healthy in a relationship, if that makes sense.
For me personally, growing up mixed, just because I did grow up more so with my mom on the white side of my family, just when it came to dating experiences with black men, if anything, they would always tell me, oh, you're really white, or just really racial comments about how I'm mixed that makes me uncomfortable. Like at the end of the day, I'm black. I
Right.
understand that I grew up predominantly on the white side of my family, but people don't see me on the street and think that's a white woman. Like
Right.
I
They're gonna look at you as a black
yeah,
woman.
I'm a black woman.
And you're gonna go through the experiences that a black woman go through.
Yes, versus always bringing up that I have a white mama or I act a certain way because I grew up white. It's just, I'm me. I grew up how I grew up. And so if I am gonna be in a relationship with a black man, I would like him to just not bring that up. But in my experience, that's been a constant conversation topic.
Can the disagreeer step forward now?
On some junk. That's hectic.
My mom, she was adopted by a white family man. She's also half white.
Yep.
And my parents were divorced after a while, and so I spent a lot of time with her, and we did things that were white. Like I was in Boy Scouts, and we camped, and we did all these different things that just weren't quote unquote black. I was reminded that I talked like a white boy all the time. And you know, those sort of things, they can add strain. Is that me saying I wouldn't date a black girl? Of course not. Like,
Yeah.
you know, of course I try to. I date anybody, but I just think in practice, you know, for whatever reason, circumstantially, it doesn't always happen all the time.
I grew up in a very white area as well, but I found that when I started dating, even though it was only
Bruh
white
got
girls
an
surrounding
accent.
me,
I don't know what type of accent. He got a strong ass accent, bitch.
they didn't understand my identity. So I was just gonna ask, like, did you or have you found that even though you were in those white situations, did you feel understood by the white women you were dating, or
I don't
misunderstood?
know what it
Define
is.
understood, I guess. I don't.
Ah,
There's
bruh
things
don't
that
know
you
either. I
express
don't know
maybe,
what
like,
bruh saying.
politically or identity-wise, that they might be like, I don't really understand that.
I think it's hard for other races to completely understand what it's like being black and
Yeah.
that experience. That's not to say that they can't be empathetic and sympathetic and understand and
Yeah.
listen to you and learn things. But fundamentally, I just think a black woman is going to have a different perspective.
So I'm from St. Louis. I'm not from California. I'm not from LA. So I'm from a predominantly black area. And so growing up, there was only one white person in my class. And so I've only been exposed to our community. And to both of you all's points, my mom is black, my dad is black, my family is predominantly black. So I've been around the black man my entire life. I have so much respect for the black man to where hearing a prompt say, I prefer to date outside my race, it kind of makes me think now, because I've never been exposed truly to the opposite end in such a depth way, to where I can look at another man from a different race and say, I wouldn't want to date you over a black man when I have had solely my experiences with them, good and bad. So whether I had that bad experience, it doesn't make me say, okay, I don't think I want to date black men anymore. I want to go and date a white man. They're going to treat me better. I feel like as a man, you all should be treated as a species in itself. And you all have very intense ways of thinking. And
I
I
can
feel
go both ways.
yeah, so, true. So I don't think that it has too much to do with race in itself. We have to take a deeper dive into men.
Do you think sometimes that women or black women, since we're talking to black women, can sort of superimpose what they believe a black man should be?
Sure. Sure. Like I said, I have to say sure, but I think it honestly just depends. I think this will totally get off topic if you really want me to dive deeper into it. Truthfully, because I know that as a black woman, you can see there's black men who are excelling. There's black men who treat their women right. There's black men who honor and respect black women. And then you have black men who, although you all didn't step forward, would say, I don't want a black woman. I watched my mom struggle. I don't like black hair. I don't like black women's attitude. I don't like how they speak. I don't like how they don't respect men. I don't like the fact that they are not subservient enough for me. Yeah. So I do believe that we're on the totem pole. We want.
Is that a problem?
Which one?
The black man that doesn't like any of the things that you just mentioned.
It's not a problem. I think it's a preference thing. I think that we've been dating the wrong people. You see that this woman is very loud and strong-willed. You know that you don't like that. Don't date her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because I come from a similar background with you two. I grew up in Memphis, but I'm from Chicago. And most women down there, you know, and most women in the South generally are masculine,
Really?
a little too
Masculine.
rough,
Masculine
a little
how?
too rough on the guy, you know.
In the South? In the South?
Can you
like, it's-
explain like just masculine?
Masculine.
Like I just want to know
Like-
specifically kind of what you mean.
Like instead of saying like nice hi, they're like what's up? What's up my guy?
Okay. Okay.
It just seems a little more. It makes sense because it's a little more dangerous. So it's like they're distinct. You know.
Bro, what is
I
Bro
disagree
talking about, bro?
because I don't date based off race. I
Just
date based off who I attract, and I generally attract women outside of black women because of my characteristics, the way I live.
I prefer black women. I attract a lot of black women, but I'm open to dating all types of women. I have even in the past. But when I do date black women, I definitely date a specific type of black women, not the representation that we have on the East Coast. That statue, are you guys familiar with that by any chance? I find
I
it.
was in New York.
Yeah, is it New York?
I think so. In
Yeah.
Times Square of the black lady.
I don't date. I mean, everyone knows that black woman. I find it that they can be very. It's almost like they try to be the man in the relationship, and there can only be one man in the relationship. And you know, when it comes to relationships, the man is always going to take the path of least resistance. And so, yeah, I usually date black women, but it wouldn't be that particular kind.
When you say that particular kind, because that was just a statue, can you go?
Well, but it's a representation, right? It's a
But
even.
it was just like we have an image here, and this is the image, and you look at it. You don't know this woman. You've never had a conversation with this woman. You don't
See,
know
I would
who
say that I
she
do
is.
know that woman.
From the looks of her.
Yeah, I would say that I know
So
exactly.
are
who
we
that
saying
is.
Probably doesn't
because
take
let's
care
go
of
into it?
herself.
Are we saying because she's a
Health-wise.
dark-skinned, heavy-set black woman? Is that what you guys getting at? Because that's we only have a visualization of who she is.
Yeah, that's the representation.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
I wouldn't date that particular kind of woman. And,
Gotcha.
Stereotypes
and then when you
come into
start
play.
talking about weight and stuff in the black community, it can be really sensitive for the women, but that does play into attraction.
That needs to be a conversation that we need to have, though.
We always have it, and they don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
Like Lizzo, body positivity.
Right.
I mean, she's losing
Try,
weight.
try telling a black woman about her weight.
Accountability is what I noticed.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. Accountability, major accountability.
Yeah.
You said you date people that you attract. I think that's really important that he said that. Because at the end of the day, like we can talk about who our preferences are, whatever. You can only date who wants to date you at the end of the day. Which is why I asked the question about superimposing what you think a black man should be onto a black person. I feel like a lot of the qualities I bring to the table, other races seem to appreciate and value a little bit more.
What qualities
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah, what quality?
Okay, so I've heard a bunch of times growing up, like, oh, like I want like a thug, for instance, and I understand like that's
That's major in the South.
stereotypical.
That's major in
It
Mississippi.
is major, even in California now.
That's
I mean,
major,
like
yeah, here
it's like I guess I kind of understand what some of the appeal of that might be, I suppose. But at the same time, like if we're trying to like build a healthy community, why are we prioritizing that?
That bores
For
a lot.
some
Of,
groups.
that bores a lot of women in the black community.
But that's my
when
point.
you start
like,
talking
yeah.
about positive things and stuff like that, they want somebody that's going to be destructive generally.
I disagree.
I don't disagree at all.
I
I've seen so
disagree.
many black women that say they want thugs, they want the gangster type, they feel protected. So much so
You
to the
gotta
point
have
to
a
where,
gun.
yeah, they like the emotional highs and lows is like sex in and of itself to her. I've seen women like this where I've seen men give them STDs and they're still banging on his door like I love you. I'm like, who's really the fool here, you know?
But are
So-
thugs the only ones that are giving out STDs? Is that what we're saying? And
Majority.
I have to majority.
Majority.
Oh, you're talking to a public health background right now. Let
my
me
bad,
let
my
me
bad.
let me tell you. It is not thugs. There is no line that says
Yeah.
I am a thug. There are white men, black men, Puerto Rican men, I'm sorry, Hispanic, and in general, there's no percentage that says only thugs are giving the most STDs out. I'll tell you one thing, black women, heterosexual black women are the most high at risk for HIV right now, and it's not just from black men. It's from all men. That's why I want us to really dive deep into that. And then you're speaking of a community saying they only want thugs. I think education plays
Mostly.
a major role in that, because if you're an educated woman, I'm an educated black woman from the trenches. Have you all heard that term? The
We
trenches?
wouldn't be talking to you then.
I-
You
no, no,
wouldn't
no.
be the archetype.
No, no,
But
of
there is
course.
a large majority of black women.
Like,
that
where are
want-
the studies
yes.
coming from?
Where are the studies coming
Yeah.
from? The numbers.
The-
The CDC. Who?
Like specific
Local-
city, state?
Nationally.
Okay.
Nationally.
Can I just say something? I think we also need to look at what you said earlier, our environment. Why are we being quote unquote hostile? Why do we have these masculine features? It's because we're put into these situations where we have to be a certain way or evoke certain characteristics. And although like certain things are portrayed online heavily, you know, like, oh, black women like want to be like sexy red, black women want to be sexualized. So kind of something that we should all look at is taking assumptions out of the window, because there are a lot of assumptions being brought up. So like, who are you talking to right now? You're not talking to a heavy representation. Obviously, you're speaking with people who are heavily educated right now. So kind of consider that and notice that, you know, you're not always gonna find a black woman that is ghetto. You could also find a very smart black woman. You know, you're not always gonna find a smart white girl. You could find a very ghetto white girl. And stereotypes are very important in conversations like this because we need to throw them out the window.
Black men are intimidated by successful black women.
Oh, 4 of them came up. Oh, 4 of them. And he
Good that you're
came
being
up
real
to
with
me.
yourself, though. That's important.
Whoa, wait. Okay. I will say,
Pause. That's crazy.
like, sometimes, I'm not gonna say all black men are, but I know I've heard from plenty of my friends and plenty of older women that I know who are kind of successful, and they're like, yeah, it's really hard to date because men will be like, oh, you make more money than me or something.
You guys like to say that we shouldn't compare, as women, we shouldn't compare ourselves to men because we'll never be the same as you guys. But you guys do that with us. Compare yourselves to us. Like, I don't make as much as her, or I don't have all the degrees that she has.
Bro,
I
who
don't-
say that, John?
I don't know if it's the same kind of comparison we're talking about, right? So I think a lot of the time when people are saying women shouldn't compare themselves to men, is women shouldn't try to be men versus men comparing themselves to women. It's more like, am I fulfilling that traditional masculine role that's kind of expected? Now, we can have the conversation as to whether or not that's still apt for our time or not, whether that's still relevant. I would say it is, just because it seems like people seem to appreciate, at least from my perspective, women seem to appreciate men who make more than them still.
Intimidation is a form of insecurity. So that stems from lack of communication and not dating someone on your level. Not you specifically, but you know, if the person isn't dating someone on their level, there needs to be that communication, because obviously that person is with you for other reasons.
I don't want to make the broad statement that it's all black men, because it's not. It's specifically black men that for whatever reason in their own life, they're not happy with where they are at. They have some sort of insecurity. Maybe it's career insecurity, financial insecurity. So if they're with that archetypal strong black woman, in my experience, instead of being like, oh, like, that's awesome, you have a degree in this, you got this job, you did this, they're like, okay, big mama, you got money? You got money, big mama? I'm like, what the hell? Or like, I've even had experiences where they were like basically slut shaming me, talking down to me because I got a better job, or I lost weight and people started noticing that, so now I was a whore. But in my experience, if I've been with a black man who he is successful. He has a job that he likes. He's pursuing his hobbies. He has X, Y, and Z. Comments like that are never made because he's not
supporting you.
Yeah, he's not internalizing your success as his failure.
Yeah.
Met that across all men. They just feel intimidated when you are successful. And
Yeah,
in my
that's okay.
experience,
That's better
too,
to say.
I do
Oh,
tend to
man,
be
man.
more of a dominant black woman, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's totally okay, but it does scare some men.
Does it make you feel like you shouldn't lead with, because I used to be the type of person, I would lead with like all my accomplishments or my businesses. I would lead with that thinking that, oh, he might like me even more because this is what I do, or, you know? So now it's just like, I don't like to share anything when I'm dating. Like, I don't do anything, I just sit at home.
What I've had to learn is because I used to diminish myself a lot.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, I want something that's real. I want someone who's gonna love me for me and all that encompasses that. So I'm gonna be unapologetically 100% me. I'm loud, I talk my shit, I speak.
This was a smooth video, but we finna end it tonight right here. Alright, it good stream, smooth stream, almost an hour. Alright, we gonna tap in another time, yeah. Y'all tap in with your boy, that 1Flisss 25. Ayy, ayy, ayy.